All right, back to it now as we dig into it. My next guest, John Roth, is a state representative, announced a bipartisan plan to protect women's health care and secure justice for victims of fertility fraud. Fertility fraud. John, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Steve. Good morning.
Good to have you back. Tell the folks again, where is the 104th Michigan House District so they have some reference?
Absolutely. It is up around the Traverse City area. We have all the way up to Ellsworth and Antrim County, all the way to Wellston and Manistee County. So everything pretty much around Traverse City is the 104th District.
Fair enough. And you call Interlochen home, if I'm not mistaken. Appreciate you being here. All right, let's talk about women's health care and justice for victims of fertility fraud, also known as assisted reproduction fraud. What is this? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it wasn't something I brought to Lansing originally, Steve. It was listening to our constituents back home. We had a gal that did a 23andMe test, found out that she wasn't 100% Scottish like she thought she was. She was half Jewish and half Scottish. A fertility doctor actually inseminated her mother with his own DNA, and she was born. So this happens, unfortunately. We hear stories all over the country that these fertility doctors have done some bad things, and we want to put some guardrails on it so we can protect the women that are trying to have families in Michigan. So unfortunately, it got caught up in the political trifecta of last term, where you can't have an old 62-year-old white guy, Republican, protecting women with fertility fraud. So unfortunately, it was on third reading twice in the House, and it just never was brought up again. And I think Democrats thought it was going to be a campaign thing and just fizzled out to nothing. Republicans don't have a problem with IVF. These are women and families trying to have kids and populate the state.
So currently no guidelines, no requirements. Let me get this. No requirements for facilities like sperm banks to obtain a verified donor's medical history, educational background, criminal record. So the chance for misrepresentation is ripe, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely, sir. It is ripe. And unfortunately, we came up with a new group that opposes these bills that I've never heard of before. The Alliance for Reproductive Freedom came in committee last week and opposed them and said there's no reason for these laws. We need to just allow people to do what they need to do. And it's absolutely crazy. Women go in expecting a certain thing, and they're being defrauded, and it's wrong. So
the Alliance for Reproductive Freedom sounds like somebody that would be a pro-choice organization. This has nothing to do with that. This has nothing at all to do with that, right? This has to do with being honest about IVF, getting what you believe you're getting to, and getting it from an honest donor or some sort of verified donor. That's what you're talking about, right?
Absolutely. They have no reason to complain about this. This is guardrails, not the elimination of the actual procedure. I don't get it. Understand? Well, if you go to their website, you understand they're all about abortion and surrogacy.
So why would they oppose this? Abortion has been settled, all right, in this state and around the country for the most part. Abortion is a settled matter. There's nothing. Yeah. It's part of the state constitution in Michigan, correct? So that's not an issue here. So why would they show up and do this?
I have no idea. They don't want any guardrails whatsoever on any of the activity. And I mean, how do you protect women that way? That makes no sense to me. I just can't understand why they'd be opposed to it.
Yeah. To me, it tells me you're up against it because the Democrats, my guess, based on what I'm reading here and understanding, will oppose you every step of the way. What do you think?
Well, we'll see. I think the governor's office is okay with it. I've already talked to some of her people, and they seem to be on board. The Senate says they'll take it up when we start working together. So we'll see, definitely. I will say that last term, when it got up in third reading but didn't get put on the board, several Democrats came to me and asked me why it wasn't going on the board. And I had to tell them that you need to talk to your leadership. They're the ones keeping it from going up for a vote. So we'll see. I think that, like you say, everything's settled now. Let's just guard the women with some guardrails that will protect them if they decide to do this procedure. And it's both sides of the aisle have used IVF. So it's a simple, smart thing to do. And I don't understand the pushback.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, John, I appreciate it. Before I let you go, though, one last question here. You live up there in northern Michigan. I think Saturday might be considered a state holiday for some folks in your neighborhood as it is down here, opening day. So I want to ask you about this DNR legislation saying that the DNR can't just come on your property without a warrant, wander around, put up trail cameras, look in your blind if you're not there, trespass and do as they please, right? The open fields doctrine. There's legislation now to oppose that. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. And I will say there have been people that have pushed back to me that are sports fishermen, hunters, about license fees. This item in particular, they're all in on and think this is wrong and what the DNR is doing. So I think it is very much required and asked for by the residents of the state, and it needs to happen.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you for being here. It does need to happen. Hunters need to be secure in their own homes, properties, and blinds. Look, if there's something, if you see criminal activity happening out in the open, that's one thing, right? That's not what we're talking about here. There were these cases of the DNR just going out on people's property and putting up trail cameras without their permission. Open surveillance. Talk about a police state. It must end. All right, last word real quick.
Hey, happy Veterans Day to everybody out there, including those in the 104th District and all over the state. And we need to take make sure we're remembering our veterans today, big time.
Agreed. John, thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve. Have a great day.
Greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It is the Steve Gruber Show. Remember, you can always send me an email at stevegruber.com. Follow us on all those social media platforms. Smash the like button. Smack. Live feeds everywhere. Social media. SteveGruber.com has a live feed of this program every day. Plus the podcast can be found at SteveGruber.com. If you ever miss a conversation and you want to hear it again, well, you can go there and hear it. We'll be right back.